Hello and welcome back for another video. My name is Ramaya from the TheHoneyStitches knitting podcast, and today we're going to be showing you, I'm going to be showing you everything I knit in 2022. I'm not going to be standing up to show you what I knit because I tried that 3 times and it did not work out. So we're going to be sitting down the whole video, and I'm going to try to put in like little clips of me trying them on, because I've never done that in my videos. I don't know if I know how to do that, but we're gonna see if I know how, because I'm gonna be editing it on iMovie. So moving forward, basically I knit things, and my main colors to knit things are white or cream, yellow, green, and pink. Those are my favorite colors. So there might be like a few outliers, which is blue, but those are pretty much all the colors I'm going to be showing you in this video. A little background before I start showing you guys stuff. This year I really started knitting things with mohair. So like every garment you're going to see except for one has mohair in it. I don't knit anything just like with wool. Everything really does have a sense of fluff to it, if that makes sense. So I wanted to give you guys a disclaimer. The first item I'm going to be showing you guys is, this is the front, is the the September sweater by Petite Knit. She looked like she could use a little bit of a wash. But this is acrylic yarn, so, and yes, my ends are not weaved in. Maybe I should really do that. But I really like this pattern. The pattern was great. The pattern was a lot. Actually, to be clear, I'm a left-handed knitter, so what's hard for me is when people make patterns really fit for right-handed people, since the majority of people are right-handed, and I'll just expect to, when I'm knitting something, for me to be doing it the correct way, like it is in the pattern, and it's not. And they don't have an alternative or saying, hey, this is for right-handed people, and if you're left-handed, this is what you should do. They don't really have something like that. So basically with this construction, you knit the back, then you like pick up stitches and you knit from there. And when in her pattern, she had the, like, you picked it up, and on the side she said to pick it up from, it was wrong for me personally. It should have been the opposite side, and I didn't figure that out until like I knit the majority of that panel, and it was wrong. And so I had to I had to unravel it and then do it on the opposite side. So that was just a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it, just like a oopsie on, not my part, on her part, because I wouldn't have known unless I had knit it. So I just wish more people would include left-handers, or like think more on left-handed people and their patterns, because not everybody's right-handed, and personally it's a waste of time to have to unravel something that's not my fault that I didn't know. But don't get me wrong, I really love Petite Knit. It was just a little something that I feel like people should include in their patterns. But I knit this with Yarn Inspirations Karen latte cakes. I think I knit this last year. I'm pretty sure I knit this last year, but I don't exactly know, but I feel like I did. I don't know. It would have been like late last year, near Christmas, but I have a feeling that I did knit this year. Doesn't really matter. But I was having questions asked on my Instagram previously before on where did I find this yarn? You know, basically it's 100% acrylic yarn, and I got it at Michael's. Okay. You guys might not find it at Michael's because it sells out very quickly, because it's all cream. It's fluffy, if you can see it. It's fluffy, it's all cream, and it's acrylic. So it's not itchy like mohair. That's one factor that I loved. And so most of my Christmas gifts that I knit for my people this Christmas, I knit it in that yarn because they wanted cream. And they also wanted it not to be itchy. They were like, Maya, I really love your knits, but like it's itchy and I don't do itch, you know? And it's like, well, I don't really know what to tell you, because I knit with mohair. If you don't want mohair, it is what it is. I'm not doing the Christmas knitting for people again. And if I do, I'm not. I'm a selfish knitter, and that's what I knew last year, but I was trying to save money and knit things for people because I already had the yarn. And we're not doing that again. I'd rather buy presents because it was very stressful. And I spent like a lot of time, meaning like over a month, like 2 months really worth of time knitting garments for people and getting everything together. And I could have been using that time to knit things for myself and get a lot of the things done that I wanted to for myself. I couldn't do that because it was for Christmas. Anyway, we love her. It was all brioche. I am completely fine with knitting in brioche. Truly. I don't have a problem with knitting in brioche. It takes a lot of time, and I feel like you really need to love the garment and love the pattern that you're knitting, because if you don't, it's going to take you forever. That didn't take me very long. It took me probably 2 to 3 weeks to knit, so, or less. It really depends on my mojo. If I have like really good mojo, then it's going to take me 2 weeks or less. If I don't, it's going to take me, it depends on the garment, because I'm knitting something right now and it has taken me a very long time, but it was like interchangeably with Christmas gifts. So the next one I'm going to be showing you guys is the Olive cardigan, and this is by Knitting for Olive, obviously. And maybe I should have still had, yeah, I maybe should have still had these on the hangers, but I don't. This is the Olive cardigan. I'm gonna just flip it around so you guys can see more of the pattern, but she's really, really pretty. I'm gonna try her on just to, because I'm not gonna get up, but I'll try her on for you guys. She was a delight to knit. I just wish I would have used better yarn. I used yarn from Hobby, and the mohair I used 2 strands of mohair, I believe. Yeah, I used 2 strands of mohair, and the mohair I used was from Hobby, which was an acrylic and I think wool blend. I wouldn't try that. It doesn't feel, it feels like synthetic mixed with real, if that makes sense. And that's just not the vibe I'm going for anymore. But although I'm not gonna stand up, I feel like this is still very pretty. There's 2x2 rib, and then you obviously you knit down, and there's a lot of charts, so everything's a chart after the collar. So I feel like this is a great pattern to knit with. I'm not gonna say that yet, but this is a great pattern. I loved knitting this, but I believe actually before I knit this, I used the yarn for knitting a September sweater in yellow with straight mohair. So then I had to unravel that because I didn't have enough for that, but I had enough for this, kind of. I had to still get more yarn, but anyway, basically there's like a lot of like broken pieces of yarn in here. You probably maybe can't see, but it's because I unraveled that, and then I had to, it was really, really bad. I think I knit that with 3 strands of mohair for the September sweater, and I had to unravel 1 strand from 2 strands, and it just was like, oh, it was terrible, okay? Would not recommend. But there's just a lot of breaks. So if I would knit this again, like I've been trying to say, I would just knit this with like, not unraveling another project, I don't know. And with better yarn, obviously. I'm in love with hand-dyed yarn right now. In love. A dangerous game because it's expensive. But I'm really in love with, really love the hand-dyed yarn. But this is not a podcast, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Okay. So yeah, also I really like the fact of like just the design. I don't know what it is about it, but like, and I still have to sew on the buttons. I have the buttons, the pearl buttons. I just haven't done that yet. But you can't, like, this is quality. This is gorgeousness. This is hand knit. Like, I'm that girl. Like, there's no, like, when you hand knit your garments, and like, I don't know what it is, but like, I'm that girl. It's not fast fashion, And I feel like even if like you buy like a whole bunch of yarn and it's like a lot of yarn and you're just like all the way stocked up, I still don't feel like that's fast fashion, Like, it's hand knit. And honestly, if you feel like you're not going to use all the yarn and you want to give it away, you can give it away, sell it, you know? It's nothing compared to fast fashion. So I just feel like I'm that girl. I make my own hand knit garments. And honestly, I was just thinking about it, and I feel like my closet with hand knit stuff is so expensive, you know, because obviously if you were to sell your garments, obviously I can't, because most of the patterns in here, they like strictly say you can't sell like the finished piece from the garment, nor can you sell the pattern, obviously. But like, if I were, it's like you would be selling these things for like $300 and up, you know, like bare minimum 300. There's not a hat or a scarf or mittens or socks, you know. It's a hand knit cardigan. We're those people, okay? That's the end of the game. The game is that we're elite because we hand knit our stuff. Anyway, the next garment that I did was I think it's called the Lykke. I don't know. It's Lykke jumper by. I'm gonna have their name in the description box down below. I'm not gonna like spell every word, well, letter. Yeah. This is her though. As you can tell, I love yellows. I did like a dark strand of yellow, like a mustard yellow. This is by Hobby as well. But I did a dark strand of mustard yellow mohair with like a lemon type of lemon color yellow with a lemon color fingering weight of yarn by Hobby as well. Everything is by Hobby that I did with this. This is in my beginning stages of knitting with mohair. So this is she is beautiful. The inspiration behind this one was I saw like a little girl on Instagram wearing this, and she looked gorgeous in it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want that. It did not turn out the same way. I don't know how, but like hers just had so much more structure, and I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know whether it's because like the little girl has like shorter arms or something, but even when I look online, people's jumpers are coming out like mine or looser. When I mean by that is like, these are like balloon sleeves, as you can see, but it's, I don't know how to really describe it. You'll see in the video when I'm putting it up here, if I'm able to put it up there. Okay. I'm gonna move on, maybe. I feel like I'm getting so, like, done with these very fast. Should I talk about more of it? Maybe I should. This is 1x1 rib. Yeah, well, I'll just talk more about it. This is one, that looked not too good on the ribbing. Okay, this is 1x1 ribbing. And then I also did, I think it was Italian cast on for it. I can clearly see that. I feel like also, I don't really want to have to knit like or like sew in elastic thread, but some of these garments I feel like it needs it. But like also sometimes when I do that, I feel like it's kind of choking me. Like there's only also a certain amount of time I could wear like a turtleneck to where I'm like, okay, you know, like I feel like I'm being suffocated at this point. And it's never too tight. I just don't think I like that. Like I don't think I really like the feeling of elastic on my neck, if that makes sense. Then also the raglan is like a 2 raglan knit thing. Ooh, don't mind my nails. But it's like a 2 raglan knit. And I feel like even with the olive cardigan, it was like that. Yeah. I feel like I just love like a two knit raglan. I like a 1 as well, you know, depending. But like I feel like the 2 is like thick. Hold on. Okay. I should not have drunk that. That does not taste good. We're moving on. Okay. The next garment I'm going to show you guys is the Fortune Sweater by Petite Knit. And this is in a mustard yellow mohair color. I'm going to flip it around because this is the front. She is gorgeous. Okay, she's gorgeous. This is the mustard yellow mohair I use. Like all 3 of these were literally like a set. Basically, I wanted to knit this, right? This was the real kicker here. I wanted to knit her. excuse me, and I like ordered too much yarn. I ordered like 7 balls of mohair, 7 balls or like 8 to 7 balls of the mustard and lemon colors of mohair from Hobby. And then I also ordered like a whole bunch of, I think it was the same amount for the fingering weight of yarn too. There was no need for that, first off. I think at the time I just didn't know that much about yardages, and I don't know if my math was off, but it was just too much. Like I got done and then I still had like 5 balls of like the mohairs. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do with all this yarn? And I don't even think I had 5. I think I had like 6 or 7 balls left. Like I think I had 6 balls left because I had a lot of mohair left over. And so I did that. And with a leftover from that, I knit this. And from the leftover of those two, obviously, well, really left over from the Lykke jumper, I knit this. This is knit with 2 strands of mohair on like 4mm knitting needles. This was really something. There's short rows in this, and I think this is, I think, the first time maybe I was doing short rows for real. I was knitting like pants like before this, like 2021. I was knitting pants, and they had short rows in it. I didn't really know how to do short rows, so I stopped. So I never really learned after that how to do short rows. But with this, I learned how to do short rows, and let me tell you, it won't easy. Doing having like not a lot of stitches on your needles and then trying to do short rows while keeping up the eyelets was a lot. I will say, you have to really get done with the short rows. Once you get done with the short rows, then it's easy, you know? And the short rows aren't hard. It's just really keeping up with the eyelets. Anyway, I really liked the garment, and the eyelets are very, very pretty. I don't think I'm missing any eyelets. Also, I got my inspiration for knitting this because Rachel from the Night Sky Knitting podcast was doing a fortune sweater, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I kept like trying to rewatch like certain clips in her podcast when she was specifically showing that one thing, and it was like I was obsessing over this, and then I finally had it. And obviously everything I knit as well, by the way, is in the extra small size. Just as a disclaimer, I don't know if I said that. So yeah, it's 1x1 rib with a fold down collar, and it's, I think, yeah, this is only a 1 knit raglan. It's not a 2 knit raglan. And then we're gonna tuck that piece a little end. Obviously I don't sew in my ends. I think that's pretty obvious now. But this is 1x1 rib, and then I think I did Italian bind off. And then for the body ribbing, and that's how you say it, that was a literal struggle. I tell you, trying to do that type of bind off or bind off at all, wow, only using straight mohair is incredibly hard. It's hard, okay? And with this, it's like it fit my body because I don't really like oversized stuff. Not really. I don't like oversized stuff. So the extra small size was supposed to fit me, and it does. But like, I don't remember in the pattern if she said to like decrease to, I don't know if she said to decrease to like then do the ribbing, but like I'm pretty sure that I decreased, and I don't know if she said to, but it'd be hard to get this over my shoulders. Like getting it here, fine. Shoulders, not so much. And obviously you can go like this and then it's like less, but it's still hard to get over my shoulders. That's the only complaint I have per se for the garment, and it's not on her, it's on me. Knitting it with mohair is hard in general. Excuse me. And also, just a disclaimer, these things are not in order of how I knit them through the year. This is still just for color wise, you know, rainbow. Anyway, we're going to greens now. So this beautiful, beautiful girl. This is, wow. She's gorgeous. This is the Scallop jacket, or yep, I'm right. Scallop jacket by I don't know how to pronounce their name. I'm gonna just put it in the description box. I'll just say it and then also put it in the description box. So also the Lykke jumper was by Spektakelstrik. We're not doing that again. That was actually really hard. And I don't want to seem dumb on the Instagram. I mean, oh my gosh. Not the Instagram. I don't want to seem unintelligent on YouTube. Because I'm intelligent, obviously. And I might have to cut this out. We will see. Okay. But yeah, she's gorgeous. I knit this. This is when I started getting into drops. You know? We're bumping hobby. We're bumping hobby. We're not doing hobby no more. We're doing this, girl. And she's gorgeous. I don't know if she was the first one I did with drops, but this is when I also started really loving green. Like, for real. So, I knit this with one strand of drops Flora with 2 strands, I think 2. These, I'm pretty sure I knit, I don't know if this is 1 strand of mohair or 2 strands. I sewed in my ends, so I actually don't know. Of course, this would be the garment that I'm like, I don't want anything sticking out. She's wonderful. 2x2 rib. This does have short rows in it, just letting you know. It's two knit raglan. And then also in love with the length and the fact that I don't think I decreased for the sleeves. It is 2x2 ribs, so it's stretchy, but it also fits you snug. I also still knit in the extra small size, like I do with all my garments. I really love green, for real. I really, really do. And it's something about, like, I saw this on Instagram. I saw this cardigan on somebody. She was knitting it on her lap on her Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really pretty. What pattern is that? And then I saw the pattern and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really pretty. I was like, well, I don't know if she knit it in drops Flora, but I got it in this green. I don't remember the exact colors. I used to really know the colors, you know, but I have been out of the game for a minute, so I don't really know or remember my colors, meaning the specific drops Flora color. Oh, this is pistachio. Never mind, I remember. Okay, this is knit in drops Flora in the color pistachio, and knit in drops Kids Silk in the color apple green. Not sage green, apple green. So, yeah. And the buttons, you can see the buttons. I hope you guys can see the buttons because I couldn't see you. But, yes, this is, okay, first off, you pick up for the collar. I wanted to let you guys know that. Because most of them, I think everything that I knit so far, everything I knit so far except for the September sweater, I'm pretty sure, you knit the collar and then you knit the yoke. You go like that. And this, you like cast it on a certain amount of stitches, and then you knit the you knit like the German short row, and then you knit the yoke, then you knit the body, and you cast off for the body, right? When you do like the ribbing and everything, and then sleeves, obviously, but then you, what is it? Yeah, you do, oh my gosh. You knit this, like the button bands first. After you knit the button bands, then you pick up for the collar, because you had to pick up the stitches from the button band. I don't like doing button bands. I prefer to knit them within the garment so that by the end of my garment it's done. Personally, also one problem I have with button bands, like every time, and I don't know if I do them wrong, but like, excuse me, they're always wrong, like every time. And I have different garments that have to have button bands in them that are not shown in this video because I didn't knit them this like last year, which is 2022. But like every time I try to put the button through, it goes through, but it's too loose, and then like my buttons come undone. So like I've been not incorporating like buttonholes within my garments so that I could just push my buttons through like the knit stitch or purl stitch and hold it, because like I feel like I don't like big buttons like that. Some garments don't need a big button, and I feel like some people put big buttons on garments that don't necessarily need them. It's their style, which is okay, but I feel like it's also maybe put in the pattern, and I don't want that. And so now I have these big buttonholes and these small buttons, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now, you know? But hey, it is what it is. Scallop jacket, I think I'm done talking about her. Also, just to let you guys know, these don't take me long to knit, so this probably took me 2 weeks or less. I know it did not take me over 2 weeks. I really liked this, so I actually think this might have taken me a week and a half. I know I've already mentioned all of these garments before in I think my first video or my first 2 videos, so you guys can go back and watch that if you want like more in depth about it. I don't even know if I did more in depth like before, but yes. Okay. Oh, I'm done showing that one, by the way. Anyway, I knit another olive cardigan. I've been wearing this one a lot lately, but yeah. Oh, she smells so good. It's because I wear them and then I put, you know, perfume on them. My perfume smells so good. And it smells really good. Anyway, also the perfume I wear is from Princess Fur Wang. It's in like the heart bottle with like purple liquid with a crown, a gold crown on it, if anyone was wondering. Okay. I'm showing the back because I feel like it shows more of the pattern. She is gorgeous. And I will put her on because I love the olive cardigan. I was supposed to knit the sweater. I don't think I'm gonna be knitting that for a while. I don't have like the itch to do it right now. Also, I have a lot of whips too, which is gonna be in another video, but I have a lot of whips that need to be done before I start anything else. And I already have like futuristic projects I'm gonna knit later. So there's no need to do them now, okay? But the olive cardigan, I've already talked about it, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it again. But this is knit in Drops Flora. 1 strand of Drops Flora with 2 strands of Drops Kid Silk. Drops Flora Pistachio, Drops Kid Silk, Apple Green. Love it. Yeah, there's not really much to talk about with this one. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, am I going through order? Yes. Okay, this is the blue I'm talking about. I didn't do buttonholes for this one, by the way. Also, most of my garments, I want them to have like pearl buttons. I put pearl buttons on this one. Okay. This is my Rosette cardigan by, I'm gonna have to put it in the description box. I've already knit something from them though. That was the scallop jacket. So the same person I did the scallop jacket from has the Rosette cardigan. I'm pretty sure these are the same people. Yeah. So this is gorgeous. This is when I first did cables. All right. I'm doing something else with cables right now, but this is my first go with cables. Cables are hard. Personally, I didn't have like that cable. I don't know what it's called. Like it's like another. It's like an extra cable needle to do it with. I had to use an entire separate circular needle to use this with, to do the cables, because it wasn't working for me not doing it with that. And then, yeah, like people be like, well, people will say like, oh, I'm really getting the hang of not knitting with an extra cable needle. And I want to get to that point because I do want to knit more sweaters with cables. Moby sweater, you know, September number 15. I'm pretty sure that's it for the cables. But sweater number 15 has a lot of cables. The entire thing is covered in cables. And then the Moby sweater just has those big 2 cables. But these were hard. And for one, it's not to go too much into the left-handed thing, but like sometimes when it comes to charts like that, then depending on what it is, my cables might like, well, I don't really know. But yeah, maybe it's not, but I feel like thinking back, my turns might be different than hers. And sometimes I'll just look at pictures of the garment so I can like know which way to turn for my cables, so that I'm not going based off of the pattern, because I'm pretty sure it's not in the pattern as well. On like, it'll tell you to do it, but like left-handed is opposite than right-handed. So if you guys say, well, like put the stitches, I don't know, put the first 3 or 4 stitches in front of the like 4 back ones. So like if a cable's knit on 8 stitches, you like separate 4 and 4, and you put maybe the first 4 in the front or the back, and that's how you turn to get a certain look of a cable. And I feel like, I haven't knit this in a long time, so I'm just trying to remember and piece it together. But like, I'm pretty sure it's not in the pattern on if you're left-handed and you want to have the same look of the cables as the right-handed people, this is how you need to turn. Or they, like, it's just not in the pattern as like right-handers turn this way, left-handers turn this way, so you guys can all have the same look. I'm not that much of a stickler for like going the same way, but I think I did do that for this one. So yeah, but this is also, I think, done in seed stitch. It's the first time I had done that. I messed up bad on seed stitch, but since it's a seed stitch, I don't feel like you could really, like, you don't really know. I figured out I messed up like a good amount of chunk into the yoke. I wasn't doing it over. Like, no one else in my family knits or anything, so there's no one I can like call to and be like, hey, can you help me with this? You know, it's just me. I'm not doing it over, especially because I feel like with seed stitch you can't really tell. I feel like if it was something else, I would have took it out, but it's seed stitch. And by the way, this was knit in this is actually knit in the same mohair I knit my fortune sweater in, but in a different color. So this is from Hobby. Because I wanted to knit, I didn't know about drops yet, and I was watching Tiffany Lou, obviously, to be clear, so that nobody thinks I'm like a new Tiffany Lou like subscriber. I'm not. I was all the way back in the day when she was first making stuff, okay? But I never like looked up like drops or anything. Like when she started getting into drop, I didn't really look up drops. I just wanted to kind of start getting into mohair, and I know that she was doing some things with Hobby, and other people were also like, what is it called, talking about Hobby in their yarn. So that's how I found Hobby. And so then I went on Hobby's website and I found mohair, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the mohair. This mohair was expensive. The mohair was like $7 to $8 a ball, and if this was not on sale, it does go on sale, but this was like not on sale. It was like $8 a ball, mind you. Acrylic, it's not to bash anyone, you know, but I just learned from my mistakes. You know, I was watching one of her Tiffany Lou's, one of her what was it, her lives or her Twitch streams, and she had went on Wool Warehouse, and I was like, maybe I should go on Wool Warehouse. And then I did, and then it's just better quality, period. You know, like certain things I would just do over, you know, like it's a shame that I knit some of these garments in low quality yarn, because I don't have the heart to do them over. Or if I did have the heart to do them over, like I wanted to do them over, I would want it to be quick so I can have like new garments in my wardrobe, you know? Like I feel like I'm not at a good place right now, excuse me, where I would be like, oh yeah, I can knit this over. Except for the olive cardigan, obviously. But like, I just want to knit like new things rather than go back and re-knit some old patterns, which I'm going to do, but not within like the next year. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Unless I really like the pattern. But most of these I wouldn't, unless it's the September sweater or the olive cardigan again. But I wanted to say that after the seat stitch and the cables, then you just go with stockinette like this. For the sleeves, I was looking, and yeah, I sewed elastic thread in the what's it called? Dang it. What is this called? Cuff. I think it's called cuff. I sewed it through the cuff, and just to make it tighter, because I don't think it was as tight as I wanted it to be, and the vibe was just off. But I think I also didn't knit the cuff long enough. So I think it looks good on me, but like I was trying to get like what the jumper was called and who it was by. I was kind of looking at the cardigan again, and like I would reknit this in a different color and way better quality yarn. And I think I might knit that soon. But she's gorgeous. Like, and this is what I also mean. I feel like this blue is like an exotic blue. Not like exotic, but like this would be like a color of a exotic frog. Or I don't know, but like something like that, I guess. So I'll just talk about something else. The last thing I'm going to show you guys is the waffle cardigan. No, the waffle sweater by Knitting for Olive. Sorry for all the weird sound effects, okay? I also did sew elastic thread in the collar, and I really like this sweater. Sorry, I keep saying like cardigan because like most of the things I knit are cardigans, and I've also realized I really need to start knitting more sweaters. Like, I think every whip I have right now, except for one or two, are cardigans. It's like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have 3 cardigans right now and 2 sweaters. Like, enough with the cardigans. But it's okay because I wear dresses, you know, spring. I'm gonna just put it out there. Spring in North Carolina is coming up. And for you North Carolinians, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, we haven't seen snow yet. More than likely, we might not. There'll be snow clouds, and then snow's not here. Then it rains, you know? It'd be cold enough to snow, and then it doesn't snow, you know? We got black ice, no snow. And then it's 70 degrees outside, and then you'll be like, So I'm gonna just disclaim that we don't get a winter, we get a fall. We get another fall. We get like a week of winter, and then fall, and then spring. Cause that's just what I'm gonna say. So I knit this in also hobby yarn, except this one was with it was with acrylic or polyamide, whatever people want to call it. I'm pretty sure polyamide is acrylic, or it's like synthetic fiber, but it was with polyamide and then alpaca. Turns out alpaca is not itchy to me. So wool's itchy, alpaca's not. Also, I'm pretty sure I said that before with the other hobby stuff, but I used, not alpaca, I used wool and then acrylic blends for those. But, yeah, I just also noticed with the alpaca, like the definition isn't, not like exact, but it's it's more fluffier than the other things. And it does have a different feel to it too. But this is a double collar, like a double folded down collar that I knit, and there was short rows in this as well. So like disclaimers, and I do want to knit this again in better quality yarn, but like the German short rows on this were, I feel like German short rows aren't necessarily hard if you're doing like straight knits. I feel like they begin to get hard once you're doing charts. Once you start to do like designs with the yarn, I feel like that's when it starts to get hard. Not because the turning is hard, but because you have to keep up with a lot of stuff in your pattern in order for it to look good, you know? and then you're also like, when is the end of the drum short rows? So yeah, and also I messed up a little bit at first because I thought I was like turning certain things, and I was not. Like, because this is better. Basically, is it on? Yeah, it's on this. It's on this part too. Basically, I thought I was going like this, like warming it down, and I was actually just knitting it. Because I don't have the best memory, so like I just was knitting. I don't know how to put it. I was knitting on one side every single time I was supposed to go to the other side. I was knitting on the same side, and then expecting it to come out differently because I thought I was following the pattern. And I just need to start writing stuff down, because if I don't have the best memory, my garments can't be coming out like that. But I got the hang of it after a while, but you could see where it's like straight down, and then where it starts to like worm itself down. But yeah, this is also by Italian Bind Off, and I did Italian Bind Off for the bottom as well. So the cuff and the body ribbon is Italian Bind Off. I also love a folded down neckline. I love a thick neckline, and like I love like a smooth one, but like I love the other ones. Okay, those are all done. I just think I really love like a good color palette, you know? Like I'm gonna pick them all up to show you guys, you know, going from the darkest to the lightest, or trying to at least. Just to show you how colorful it is. And like as well, because a lot of people do creams and browns and blacks, or like colors like that, and they just stick to them. Okay, these are all of them all together. Okay, threw it down. I feel like a lot of people do like creams and browns and things like that, and I feel like I'm just not that girl, and I know I'm not that girl, but I do feel like that's a popular trend, and I don't necessarily know if I don't know if everyone likes those colors, or whether it's just going with the flow of the knitting community in general, if that makes sense, you know? Not saying that everyone does it, but like I just need a pop of color in my life, you know? Like I love color. Like my sisters I have 3 sisters, and 2 of my sisters are those type of people to only wear like creams, and the other one wears like white and black, you know? I'm a color girl, and then my 3rd sister, well, my oldest sister, is like a color type of girl too. But yeah, I think also I'm gonna just say maybe a few resolutions, at the end of this video. So I think one of my resolutions are to gain more following on Instagram. So I want to post more consistently on Instagram with my amigurumi stuff, or like my knitted garments, and take more aesthetically pleasing photos as well. And I just want to feel like I'm more a part of the community and have more friends with the community, if that makes sense. I also want to start posting more on TikTok, and I want to start posting more consistently on YouTube as well. So this is, I don't necessarily enjoy making videos that aren't knitting podcasts. I do like knitting podcasts, but the thing is that I don't necessarily have like stuff to say every time to make a knitting podcast. So that's why they're like more stretched out. So I'm probably going to make a knitting podcast every month, and then the rest I'm trying to upload 3 times a month. Okay, but actually no, like 4 times a month. But it's not like I'm gonna have things to show every week for a podcast, you know? So I'm gonna just do different videos and then a knitting podcast. So yeah, I feel like maybe I should have thought about the resolutions before I talked about them here. It's okay. So yeah, I am going to end this video here, I suppose. If my energy was down, like I say in every video, I apologize. I'm just trying to get back in the game. Thank you guys for your patience. Also, I wanted to say that I am doing like amigurumi stuff. So I'm crocheting these and a whole bunch of other things. But I have an Etsy shop called TheHoneyStitches, and within the next few weeks, I'm going to do a launch where I am putting on Etsy everything that I'm selling. So I'm really excited about it. They're basically like crocheted stuffed animals or crocheted stuffed food. So they're really, really adorable and cute. I'm going to be making more videos on them. And in my knitting podcast, I'm going to be talking more in depth about a lot of the things today. I just don't know if everyone watching is already a subscriber or from the past. So I didn't want to talk too much about it. So yeah. Okay. I will see you guys next week, I suppose. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. And I will ghost. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Maybe, should I not say it at this point? Okay, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year's. Okay, if Christmas stressed you out, I'm sorry for the Christmas gifts that you had to do. Okay, I will see you guys next week for another video. I think it's going to be the knitting podcast. Or, no, it's going to be the knitting podcast. I'll see you guys next week for another video. I'll catch you guys soon.